Jean-Pierre, Empire Blueprint. So today I'm here with Jobman at Cabinetry.Online to talk to you about who we are, but what we do. And I really want to focus on the people element behind everything. I think when we talk about systems and businesses and growing things, we're also excited about the future, AI, and systemizing things, but we forget at the core the people that we work with. But before I get into that, you need to know who we are and why we exist. So we exist so you can save time, which is what everybody says, so we can reduce stress, which is, I think, why we're all here, but then to run better businesses. So you can actually do what you got into the job to do and not all the other boring business crap. So I think that's a huge thing to know. And so when you signed up to do this job, you were really good at your trade and you wanted to keep doing your trade, you didn't realize how much more you'd have to do with the business. And so we exist because there's so much more that you were never even aware of. It started off just me helping a friend in cabinet making who said, hey, you've run really successful businesses before, and I was selling hair products, believe it or not. And I took a break, I live on a farm, and I said, I don't want to talk to anybody, I've worked long enough, I don't want to do this. Life happened. He needed help because he was implementing Jobman. He was running a business of $15 million, and I think he was taking home like $500,000. And I asked him, like, what the hell are you doing, or what are you not doing? His answer was, I'm running it the best I can. Anyway, he finds Jobman, makes the introduction, and then I fly out to W and say, okay, I can do this. It takes me 2 months to figure out what the hell to do. I thought I could do it in 2 weeks, but we did it. Then I thought, well, great, I've now done it, maybe it will take me a month. So I find the next client, and I quote them for a month, and it takes 6 weeks. And then I realized, holy crap, A, there's a lot more to this than I thought, and B, I can't do this alone. So I set out on a mission to make a team, because I hated doing this on my own. There's 12 of us now. It's been 2 years and there's 12 of us who do this for a job. We build systems for people for a living. So that's important to know. What we actually do is so much more than just Jobman, and I'll quickly talk to each of the points and then we'll move on to the fun stuff. We've got teams that help you with your branding, because a lot of you guys are great with your hands, but when it comes to seeing things online, you may not know how to do that. So we cover that. Our online presence teams make sure that what you have built online is actually visible to your clients. But I'm most excited about workflow solutions, and that's why I started. I love making things efficient. So whatever it is, I would hate to see that I would keep doing something or that I would just be wasting my time. I always believed and still maintain that there had to be a better way. And so that was how Empire Blueprint was born. Mind you, I failed a lot to get to that point. And so I'm going to talk to the benefits of a connected business, and I'm going to run off Aaron's slides because we do work together. But what I'm actually going to talk about is what I'm good at, because that makes me not nervous. And that's the people that we need to make this happen in your businesses. And so automation, I think, has a really interesting rap at the moment about it replacing people. And we go into these companies to tell them, hey, like, we're going to put the system in, and we tell the people that they're not going to lose their job, and we comfort them. What we don't tell the people there is, you're going to have to start learning more and becoming a lot more productive. That your job is truly actually not going to disappear. But what's going to happen is the job that you do right now in the way that you currently do it isn't going to exist for that much longer. It is not good enough for us to come in and put systems in place and not teach the people and not support them. And so systems exist for us to remove the bulk of the work so the people that you have can actually elevate their game and do more. It's not about removing the people from the operation. That would be a short-sighted view, especially as we move into AI. What it is about is giving them a system that they can lean on and use as a tool. When teams and tech talk to each other, trust grows. This is a really interesting point for me. People say, if I get a system, it's going to fix everything. I've heard that for God knows how long, and I'm over it. You think it's the silver bullet, and it's the bane of my existence. You put a system in place, and you stop communicating as God made humans to do, and that is to talk to one another, and you somehow think that's going to solve everything. Reality check, it doesn't. What systems do is allow you to keep that conversation in one central place where you can always refer back to it, to make sure when you are talking to one another that you're keeping tabs and you're talking about the same topic and not about a million other things. So systems don't actually remove people from a business. You need to upskill the people that you have so they can use the systems that you built. And I've also learned along the way that people don't just want to be told what to do. As business owners, and most of us business owners in this room, a hands up or a yes, 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 awesome, thank you so much, that helps me. I'm an owner too, and we think we just say what we want, we do a system and everyone's going to follow our command. How true is that for anyone in the room? Yeah, cool. Not that true. And so what we do is we try and build things and say to people, you've got to do this, or you need to do this because you're going to be more productive. If you do this, you're going to be better. But we fail to teach them what to do. There's a more important part. For the most part, we don't even involve them in the process. We forget about them because we think, heck, they've just got a job to do. We know that they've got to become more productive. We don't communicate to them. We just say, here's your new role, use this system. And we forget not only to teach them, which I'll get to in a minute, but we forget to ask them to give us their opinion and to involve them in the process. Improving trust, transparency, and technology, sure, that's a nice long word. People don't fear accountability, they fear unfairness. This is an interesting topic. Digital transparency doesn't mean that people get away with things anymore. Everything now we're moving to is visible. It's so visible that what we do at Empire Blueprint, like the dashboards you showed us earlier, is using AI, build visual dashboards to allow you to see what your business looks like in real time. So people can't hide behind screens anymore, but what they want is clearly defined roles. People want to be taught what to do, and when they bring in a system, they want you to be able to define the role that is their job. What they hate more than anything is you bring in a system or an environment and you don't tell them what their new defined role is, and between this person and the next guy, they're clashing. They hate the unfairness that creates, because when you said we're bringing in systems, it's going to change our business, what did you think? What did they hear? It's going to make my working life easier, right? That's the idea. You tell them it's going to make everything easier, yet we fail to show them what easier is, and then we fail to show them what their daily work life would look like. Transparency is critical. I spoke about this before. When you bring them in to the environment, you really value their approach and what they say. When you are tailoring a system to your business, if you don't factor in what the people are thinking, you're not going to get a mission or a vision that they all buy into. Now, you might look at me and say, well, what the hell are you talking about? We're just making cabinets. And that's fine. I hear it all the time. But don't you want the people in your team to kind of see what you see? Can anyone relate to that? Haven't you ever said they just don't get it? And haven't you ever thought, why doesn't he get it? I've told him 100 times. Is it possible that you just forgot to tell him a lot of stuff that you've learned over a long period of time and just made the assumption, yes, thank you, sir, that he should know what's happening? And isn't that our fault? And by bringing in a system, do we truly think that that's going to fix everything? So today's talk, because you've heard about systems and improvements, is to encourage you to think about the people, the real people behind it all. Tech shouldn't be a tool. Well, it is a tool, but it should be a mirror that reflects and a map that guides change. When we define success, when we're building JobMan, we don't actually say it's a system that's going to run 100%. Does anyone know what I would call a success when we're training clients? Would somebody be willing to take a random punt? 80%, right. And it's not a system that's 100% working. It's a system that is running, that shows you what is broken in your business, and you are empowered to go and fix it. The idea of having a system that would run everything without you knowing everything that you need to is actually not true. It will show you what you're not doing right. It will highlight the gaps. And then you have the burden as the owners and the directors and the responsibility to then go out and say, I now have this knowledge. Right now, you all tell me it's a gut feeling. I know my business is okay. I ask you for numbers up here, like I think, I feel, and you say I feel. A lot of you don't actually give me what you think. You say, I feel like we're losing money on reworks. Can you quantify? No. Why? I really don't want to know. Probably wouldn't get out of bed if I knew the number. Right. And so a system doesn't always need to show you from the beginning everything that is perfect. It is its job, and you should look at it as a tool that will show you what is wrong. It will highlight what is incorrect, and it will allow you to then go and fix it, because you cannot fix what you don't know is broken. How many of you here think that you as the owner are the problem? Don't show hands. Oh, again, let's do it. Show me your hands if you think you are the problem. Yeah. I like you guys, because that's honesty and transparency, okay? People know who report to us. A lot of the times they'll just do what we say because we tell them that, but we internally know that we're unsure ourselves. The biggest bottleneck in any business isn't the system or the people. And I'm not here to talk to you about that. You've heard it all day. It's you in this room, your knowledge, your skills, your ability to articulate where you are going, to communicate that vision to those people when you're building that system, is what makes the system great. The system is only going to reflect what you've done, how far you've come as an individual. So again, it is not always about people on the floor saying, oh, that's the bottleneck, and I see this, that's the bottleneck when I fly out and consult businesses. Sometimes I ask the question is, have you looked in the mirror? And no one really wants to admit that. Maybe I don't know. But again, I would encourage you, rather than just getting systems and thinking that is the silver bullet, rethink the way that you view yourself as a leader, as somebody who is in charge and has authority but is responsible for those people that we work with. What direction have you given them? When have you upskilled them? When have you taken the time out of your day to share with them what you think they should know? Bottlenecks aren't just process issues. How many times have you got to a workplace and if you know what the problem is, you feel really frustrated? Would that be almost everyone? And you think, I really just wish this would go away. That burden, ladies and gentlemen, falls back on you as the owners. You use the systems to give you the knowledge to be able to make those decisions to say, this person is failing, or I am failing, for those of us who are willing to say that. And I now know this because I have the data that I need. I have the information that I need to go out and get them the training that they require. Digital tools don't fix problems. I already said this before. They highlight to me what is broken, and then it is your job to go and fix it. They help us see them faster, own them earlier, and improve more often. I think this is true. Every time I go somewhere, people say, oh, we really can't find staff, or staff suck, or this new generation shit. I'm like, yeah, you and everyone else thinks the same thing. And a part of me might agree. However, what I think is really the issue is we've got some really great people in every workplace. But if we can't use them to direct them the right way, and we've just got them there sitting on the sideline, that we're not training them or we're not giving them a clear direction on what to do or how to do it, again, my job today is to encourage you. Look at the people that you have. Make sure you're giving them the skills they need and use the systems to be able to guide you to make those decisions. When your tech works with your team, every joiner becomes more productive without burning out. I've now done this for 3 years. Most of the implementations we do for JobMan are successful, and who knows why they might be successful? We engage the people. And how do you think we do that? We work with them. What else do we do? We support them. And this is not for you to say, get us because we're the best and we're going to make it work. That would be awesome. You're welcome. But the message here is don't just go out and do something in a boardroom. I see this all the time. Directors will sit in a boardroom together and have an office meeting. They'll make a decision up there somewhere in management. And nobody actually really thinks to communicate the decision that was made through to those people working on the factory floor. A connected cabinet making industry means fewer silos, which is a big word for me, fewer things. Like you share the knowledge that you have. More sharing, more growth, allowing us all to rise together. I'm not going to say thank you just yet. What I do want to share is my message today wasn't to tell you about what we do. It's very clear what we do. We help put the systems in place. But if I had a message that I could share is, as everyone's talking about improvements, AI, efficiency, and everyone's really excited about making more money, the people that we serve, the people that we employ are getting forgotten. We then complain that they're not good enough or that they don't know. I would encourage you all with this one thought experiment, and I'll end on this note, that when you go home today, if you put your hand up thinking that you were the problem or that you were the issue why the business hasn't progressed, consider if you used a system, what would it do for you to be able to reflect? Thank you.